Hi friends, we will now read a poem about understanding our environment. We have to understand the environment in which we are functioning. It may be a social environment, it may be a political environment, it may be a cultural environment. All these things we are supposed to understand. When we understand, we will be successful. If we don't understand the environment, we may not be successful. So that is what it says. I will read the poem, explain it, and then see some of the important words in the shloka, and then again finally we will close repeating the shloka. I will read. Deshacharan samayan jati dharman
Deshacharan samayan jati dharman
bubhushate yassa paravarajñah
bubhushate yassa paravarajñah
sayatra tatraadhigatas sadaiva tatraadhigatas sadaiva mahajanasyaadhipatyam karoti. So this poem is again actually it is from Mahabharata. In Mahabharata, I told you, there are so many passages. There are so many passages in which several wise people, they counsel kings or some such people, because kings, they need counseling. Now and then they need some sort of counseling, otherwise they may be taking some wrong decisions. So this is from one such passage in which an advisor, a minister named Vidura, a very, very wise minister, he is advising the blind king Dhritarashtra about certain things. So this is one such a poem from that passage. It is called Vidura Niti. In fact, that book, Vidura Niti, consisting of about 100 to 100 odd shlokas, it is supposed to be a classic in this political and some sort of on various issues. The minister is advising that king. So this poem says, a person who knows, who understands the customs of a place, deshacharan. Desha can mean a country, it can mean a place, it can mean a state, a new place, any new place, you go to any new place. The customs of that new place, desha achara. A person desires to know or who knows the customs of a place. And then samayan, samayaha, some mannerisms. When you meet a person, how are you shaking hands? When you meet a lady, are you going to straight away go and offer your hand? Are you going to hug her? What sort of distance you have to maintain? So these are samayas. Then jati dharman. Jati dharma, these are certain ethics, a code of conduct relating to a class of people. Jati, a particular class, a particular sect of people. They have got some distinct mannerisms, they have got certain distinct habits. In certain houses, they may be having, in certain families or in certain, maybe a religious group, or it may be some other ethnic group. Those groups may be having their own practices. You have to honor their practices. Suppose you go to some Hindu house, you can't straight away enter the puja room. There is a room earmarked for worship. Usually in all Hindu houses, there is a room which is earmarked for puja, worship of gods. You don't enter with shoes. You may enter the house with shoe, but then that puja room, that worship room, we have to remove the shoes and then go inside. That is the respect we give. So that is an achara. That is a sort of, that is a conduct. That is a code of conduct in relating to a particular group. That is what is called jati dharma. Jati dharman bubhushate, one who knows them, one who desires to know, or one who knows them, is sa paravarajñah. Para-avarajñah. Para means higher, avara means lower. Paravarajñah means the one who knows who is higher and who is lower. So in any environment, who is the important man, who is the unimportant man, whom should we respect? So what sort of regard has to be given? The degree of respect one has to give. Suppose you see one good example can be a uniformed service. Suppose you take some army officers. If there are some 10 army officers, there is a rank, military, in that ranking is there. One man may be a general, another man may be some other, say person, a brigadier, another man may be a major, etc., etc. There are so many levels. And suppose one gentleman walks in. So he has to know who is the senior most. So one has to salute that senior most person. Or if the senior most person goes there, all of the people will get up. And if there are 10 people, whom should you salute first? And whom should you salute? Once you salute the topmost person, you need not keep on saluting all of the people. So that is the rule there. Or in some other culture, some other person is respected though he is not a very high position, though he is not a very rich man. For example, a story is told about Macaulay. Not a story, it is actually there, it happened. Macaulay, the person who introduced, who removed Sanskrit teaching from India. So this gentleman, he did a good thing by introducing English, there is no problem. But then he totally tried to destroy Sanskrit, tradition. So he saw one day when he was going to some place. So a very senior district officer, a district head type of person, he was going on horseback. And then when he saw a priest of a temple, one temple priest was coming down from a small hillock. When he saw that priest, he got down he dismounted the horse, and then he saluted him. He bowed before him, and then again he got onto the horse and went away. So when Macaulay saw this, it was a shock for him. This district level officer, he is bowing before an ordinary priest. What is this? So that means there is a sort of spiritual authority here, so which has to be broken. So that is how that Macaulay decided, seeing such things only, this spiritual authority has to be broken. So he succeeded to a great extent. So that is Jati Dharma. Jati Dharma is something which the rulers have understood in order to break it. So that is a thing. So Deshacharan, Samayan, Jati Dharman, Bubhushate yassa Paravaragnya. Paravaragnya means the one who knows who has to be respected, who should not be respected, what is the degree of respect one has to give, etc. So in different cultures it changes. So we know that people have different cultures in different areas, though of course now this globalization is bringing about or creating a global culture. Globalization, no doubt, it is creating a global culture. What is worn today in America or some other, Western country, it is coming here immediately as a fashion, and then we are immediately imitating. And sometimes they do imitate us. So it happens. There is a global culture which is emerging. But in spite of all that, there are still lot many local cultures. This poem, of course, it was told some 5,000 years ago in Mahabharata times. But even now, it holds good. In the sense that when you go to some new place, or if you go to a different business environment, in that business environment, their business code of conduct may be different. If you go to a political environment, in that environment it may be difficult. In some other environment, it may be something diplomat, for example. A diplomat, when a diplomat is sent to a country, for example, an ambassador from India has to go to some other country. So one has to go to China. So this man, he is made to study the Chinese culture first, because unless he knows the culture of the people, he can't go and interact. So he has to understand the Chinese culture, and then he has to go there. So without understanding the culture, if he goes there, he may be a failure there. He doesn't know how to greet them, he doesn't know how to interact with them. Suppose somebody offers food. If you don't accept food, you may be dishonoring him, you may be dishonoring the host. You may be insulting the host. For example, somebody offers food. So unless you are a vegetarian and you do not take non-vegetarian, then you can be plain. You can say, okay, I am a vegetarian. Then it is his duty to give you a vegetarian. It is his duty to give you the food which you eat. Or suppose in Western society, they hug all the women. They see a woman, they hug, and then they kiss on the cheek. But then we don't hug. We don't even shake hands with women. We do namaste to women. So the women and men, they never hug, they never embrace, and then they never kiss. This is the culture here. But in some other culture, it may be there. So those people should not come and hug our women. So it is like that. So all these things, a person who knows these things, he will succeed. And it may apply even to an office. Suppose in an office there are about 100 people. And 100 people from different cultural backgrounds. Suppose you know the cultural background of a person, so you may be able to interact with him in a better way. So a person from one cultural background, he is a hard-working person. Person from another cultural background may not be a hard-working person. So this knowing the nature, knowing the cultural background also helps. Even say a person who is in a company CEO, let us say. So this knowing this culture, etc., knowledge of culture is very, very useful. So in this shloka, if you come back, Deshacharan acharaha. Achara means a custom. Achara. Deshasya acharaha deshacharaha. Then samaya, some mannerisms, smaller mannerisms. Jati dharman, the code of conduct relating to a particular class. Then paravaragya. Paravaragya is an important word. That is who knows the degree of respectability of people. Then sa yatra tatra adhigataha. Wherever he goes, sadaiva, a person who knows, he becomes, he will be able to manage, he will be able to control a large number of people. Sa yatra tatra adhigataha. Wherever he goes, sadaiva, mahajanasya adhipatyam karoti. He can control or he can command the respect of. Command means not that physically he becomes the chief and all that. He can command the respect of lot many people, he can influence lot many people. So that is what it is. Mahajanasya adhipatyam karoti. We will read this shloka. Deshacharan samayan jati dharman
Deshacharan samayan jati dharman
bubhushate yassa paravarajñah
Ubhushate yassa paravarajñah
sayatra tatraadhigatas sadaiva
Sayatra tatraadhigatas sadaiva
mahajanasya adhipatyam karoti.
Mahajanasya adhipatyam karoti.
Fine, okay.